guys have had all season, but how did that apply tonight to Miami to keep them to 80 points?
It's just our way. I mean, we want to be a good defensive team. That team scores 100, I think 15 or something like that a game. And we knew they were coming off a back-to-back. We just wanted to make shots. They had some good looks they missed, but for the most part, we want to run them off the line. They're number one in three-point field goal percentage and held them to 17%. So we just wanted to run them off the line and hold them to one stop.
Looked like you found that soft spot in that zone, kind of in the middle. What did you guys go over, and how did that evolve where you were getting all those looks?
I mean, any time you want to beat a zone, you get the ball in the middle of the floor or on the baseline, and it's tough for them to help. So that's all we try to do, just get in the middle of the floor, get the ball there, and then, from there make a shot or make a right read so our shooters in the corners.
You had the most assists you've had all season. What came together for your passing tonight?
They was in the zone and knew what was going to be open. Like I said, once we get the ball in the middle of the floor, it's, pick your poison. I can score or I can, throw it to a lob to JaVale or Dwight or find the shooters in the corner. So, once we got the ball in the middle of the zone, the rest was just making a play.
Is this the best performance of your team on defense this year? If not, it was close.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good team. I mean, they were 6-2 and could score the ball. Held them to 80 points. I think we've been good defensively all year, though, and it just adds to what we've been doing.
How long did the recognition take to figure out with the zone that they were doing it, that they were consistently staying with it?
No, we were just taking a lot of quick shots, one-pass shots, and you can't beat the zone like that. So, hey, man, hey.
Oh, my bad, man. No, my bad, bro.
It's called control. No, I mean, you can't beat the zone with one-pass shots. So, we just start moving the ball, getting in the middle of the floor, and then, from there, they're at our mercy.
Did teams used to throw a lot of zones at you growing up, just playing in Chicago?
High school. Zone is very rare in the NBA. Teams do it usually for one possession or the zone to a matchup. So, but they run it a lot, with their team. So we knew coming in that they were gonna probably run some zone.
Eddie, at some point, do you guys have to make threes at some point to open up some other things?
We had some good looks. We missed a lot of threes in that zone. And obviously we would have made them. It would have opened the zone up a lot more, especially when you get the ball in the middle of the floor. But we're going to keep shooting them. God's going to keep shooting them. KCP's going to keep shooting them. Troy, DG. So, that's what we want them to do. We don't want them hesitating at all. If you got it and you're open, let it fly.
It was like seeing Dwayne at the game today.
Huh?
It was like seeing Dwayne Wade at the game.
Oh, I mean, he's a fan. Obviously playing his former team. He's out here now, so just another guy of the game, I guess. Yeah.
So it's a different team and circumstances, but do you take anything away from how he and LeBron handled like the co-leadership dynamic and all that?
I don't know how they handled it.
Yeah.
It's a question for him. He's been with both guys, so I'm not sure how they handled it. But we just try to, lead together. With one guy on the floor, we're talking to those guys and we communicate every time out. What we want to do or what we see on the floor and go from there.
Frank said that internal statistics showed that you guys contested 88% of the shots tonight. What does that say about the effort and the culture you guys have built about doing that?
Well, we know they like to shoot threes. And a lot of you guys have quick triggers, so we want to get a good contest and not close off short and get them their shots and then or run them off the line. And obviously when they get in the paint, we want to make sure that we contest all paint shots. So we're just doing what the game plan was, and as a result of that, we had them to 17% from the three.
Last two questions.
Last no questions. Perfect.
James, I remember thinking this summer, it's going to be fun to watch AD every single night because I've loved his game. We all have, but you just don't get to see it very often. And now you get to see it on a nightly basis. And I don't know what's more impressive. I look at his all-around line: 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks, 2 assists, 12 in the first quarter, James, 10 in the third. Pick your poison, but he's just every single night, the way he competes, the way he plays the team game, defensively, offensively, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, he's a dominating player. I mean, to me, to still be able to get, high numbers in the assist there. He had 7 tonight. He's finding people. So, I mean, he's a threat in every aspect of the game. He's a threat blocking shots. He's a threat rebounding. He's a threat passing. And God knows when the ball in his hands, he can do just about anything. So I'm impressed with the way he, picks his poison when he needs to, just like LeBron does. When they needed him to step up and dominate, he did it.
Fish, in this day and age when you feel like the superstar has to have the ball in his hands, he has to be the guy with the shot clock winding down, step back three or running the pick and roll. He's got to be the guy deciding if he's passing or shooting. It just seems like AD gets these numbers just playing his style.
Yeah,
basketball. Yeah, he can do it all because he can also facilitate.
Yeah, I think we're still conditioned from the way basketball had historically been played by superstars, right? That they did have the ball in their hands. They were going to take the bulk of the shots. And I think, to be honest, over the last 5 to 7 years, as the Warriors have kind of popularized this team basketball and passing and cutting and playing without it, we've lost sight of the fact that a lot of great NBA players have bought into playing the game this way because they want to win. And that's what, when a team or an individual is able to sustain greatness, it actually starts to fuel other guys in that league to be better and to buy into what they're doing because that's working. And I think that AD wants to be in a situation where he has guys that he can get 7, 8, 9 assists on a night. He wants to be in that role. And I'm going to go out and say this could be his best season as an all-around player
without a doubt
in the NBA because of what he's surrounded by at this point in his career.
I got the Laker beat at the LA Times 1 month after Shaq was traded. And thanks, Bill Dwyer, for that assignment. I saw some bad basketball for a few years as Kobe by himself tried to carry the load. And then good things started to happen. You came back to the Lakers, and in February 2008, Pau Gasol was acquired. Lo and behold, not 1, not 2, but 3 NBA Finals appearances and 2 championships. Fish, I appeal to you on this question. When you add that second superstar, it really makes a difference, doesn't it? I'm trying to make the parallel to LeBron last year winning 37 games, and now he's got this guy next to him.
Yeah, and I think it's the right superstar. And I think that more so than just being a really talented, great player, it's the type of player, his character, his integrity, the type of person he is. And that's what Pau Gasol meant to our team. We were talented, but Pau's not just his addition in talent, but how humble he was, how much of a team player he was, a willing passer. He wanted to win at that point in his career. He had been in Memphis, like AD had been in New Orleans, been to the playoffs, but hadn't been successful. So he comes to the Lakers wanting to be a part of something greater than himself. That's where AD is right now. So it's very similar, and obviously we hope in June that it works out the same way.
So many games over these last few years, we saw our young guys play so hard, play so well, but lose down the stretch because the other team had a couple superstars. The Lakers now have theirs.
It's okay.
It's late. You ready for a little 360?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Fix the collar right there. It's flying.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
That kind of night. You know what I mean?
That kind of night. We're all excited. Are you staying here?
No, I'm going to the Wall, Geeks.
That's what I'm thinking about.
To the Wall.
7-game win streak. Big game, knee replacement. Can't kick it up yet, can you?
Let's go now. Y'all saw him walk by that suit, though?
Stand up and short roll that suit, Big Gang. Short roll that suit, Big Gang.
Say Big James casket clean. Boy, that boy clean tonight. All right, we see here the Heat man-to-man defensively. Lakers running off of their defense, attacking these open gaps along the baseline behind the defense before it's able to get set. That's the advantage of attacking a man-to-man individual defense. Here, baseline screen, gets Myron Leonard to take a peek a little bit. Avery Bradley with a nice screen. Tough for bigs to navigate those pin downs. A lot of teams use smalls pinning down on big to create gaps. Here now, once you see the Heat in the zone, getting 3 guys below the basketball, starts to take the air out, makes the Lakers feel like they need to move the ball around the perimeter. 5 passes have been made, now 6, before they actually ever threaten the interior of the Heat defense. And then here, KCP being forced to take a pull-up contested jumper by Tyler Hero. And then again, the Heat able to have 3 defenders below the basketball, non-aggressive at the basketball. The ball, again, moving around outside of the paint, not able to get on the interior of the Heat defense. Collision there. But after that early start, 11-2 by the Lakers, you saw the Heat start to get into that zone defense, which really kept the ball out of the paint for the rest of the first half. And it really wasn't until the second half, like Frank Vogel mentioned, they improved their spacing, they started to execute better, and then they started dominating in the paint, getting penetration.
Nice work, D-Fish.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it took him a while. I think Fish mentioned something about pace. Zone takes away that pace and that fast break. So it took them a while to kind of figure out. I thought the second quarter they started to expand a little bit. But the zone, you have to get in the interior. And once AD and LeBron and those guys started, and even Caruso driving into those gaps, I think that exploited the zone a little bit in the second half. They were able to get something out of it.
Guys, this run could go for a while. All right, 5 of the next 6 at Staples Center. Just look at the schedule real quick. I don't know the next game where the Lakers will not be favored. I think it might be December 3rd at Denver. All right, they have some pretty easy games the rest of this month. They're going to be at San Antonio in a couple weeks, but, you know, they're looking at 7-1 right now, and this thing could go for a while. And I mean, you know, December's going to be a tough month, but they have a pretty good path to clean up right now some easy W's.
All right with that. Game high 26 points for Anthony Davis. Let's go inside the Lakers locker room. AD is speaking with Mike Trudell.
Hey, Anthony, what was the level of defensive focus you've got